and welcome back to The Growing Revolution. I'm Eric Olson with Smart Pot Fabric Planters, and this week our guests are Sean and Allison McManus, who go by Spoken Garden on social media. They are passionate gardeners, social media content creators, inventors, authors, and big fans of Smart Pots. Sean and Allison, welcome to the podcast.
Hey, Eric.
Hi, Eric and everyone. We're so excited to be here.
Yeah. We're big fans of you guys, so I'm excited to learn more about y'all and what you guys are doing in the gardening world. So first, where are you located? How long have you two been together? And were you both gardeners before linking up?
Oh gosh, good questions.
Yeah, great questions.
Well, yeah, we're in Washington State, so we're like on the opposite side of you, and we're in Zone 8B over here, and we garden in Tacoma, Washington.
Yep.
Very nice. And were you guys gardeners? I think I saw, Sean, that you're a landscape professional. Is that correct?
Well, I was trained in horticulture at Washington State University, bachelor's and master's. But before that, my family had a rhododendron farm since I was 5 years old. And growing up, I was constantly going out there growing rhododendrons and learning the wholesale business, the growing part of things. But then also I gardened with my mom at home. I helped her around the yard, basically. That's kind of how my gardening got started, around the yard. So,
but it's fun. Yeah, we've been together, married for 8 years, so not like a long time yet, but it's been amazing. And we both came in with gardening, just different experiences, and just kind of meshed them together, and then kept going, in a different direction. So it's been awesome.
Yep.
Nice. Well, you guys have been married for 8 years, and I think the national average is 7, so you're doing better than most folks.
All right.
Keep it up.
All right.
So how did your gardening experience start compared to maybe how you guys are doing things today, or has anything really changed?
Gosh, since we started together gardening. Oh, cool. Gosh, I think a lot has changed, I feel like, because about a year ago we sold our home because we had outgrown it. So that kind of shows, like, we came in, Sean moved into, I was living in my grandpa's house that we bought. And we kind of added on to their very mature garden and started kind of just adding in whatever we could, just ornamentals. We love growing plants and flowers. And we just took it from there. We started all these projects, and
and we
really fun.
We built upon the landscape that was already there. We threw in some raised beds out in the front yard and the backyard.
Everywhere we could, actually.
We completely removed almost all of the grass. There was just a little patch for our dogs when we had them, and so I mean, we transformed the whole yard.
We completely outgrew our space, and now we're looking for property. We want like acreage so we can grow just like tons more plants and flowers.
And trial gardens and all sorts
of stuff. So excited. I know, it's so fun.
Nice. Yeah. Gardening, as most people know who are watching this, is very addictive. So watch out. It can spiral out of control like it is for you guys. But it sounds like y'all have it under control. So can you guys tell me about the book that you guys wrote?
Yeah. Oh, we have a copy here to show you. We wrote this, and it actually was published in 2021, and we're so proud of this. Sometimes we are like, did we write a book? Like, what?
Yeah.
So this kind of launched really our career. I mean, we'd already started the spoken garden business, but then the book kind of really kickstarted it. And it's for new gardeners, which we love teaching new first-time gardeners. And our books, it's fun. It's actually part of a series of, is it 4 books now?
It's 4 books now.
For
Cool Springs
Press. Do you want to add anything?
Oh, it's just, so our book basically is definitely for the first-time gardener, new gardeners out there. It goes from, it starts off very basic and talks about what gardening is, the different kinds of plants, perennials, annuals, even bulbs. And then it goes into how plants actually grow, their biology, how to pick out, this is a leaf, this is a root, it's a lot of basic stuff, but it breaks it down too on what the importance of those pieces are and how it all fits together. And then it goes from there and moves into how to inventory your yard, like what you already have versus the space you have available to add new plants, and then goes into picking new plants, and then into planting the plants, and it just goes into maintenance, and it kind of takes the first-time gardener all the way through like almost a whole year of what they can do in their yard.
I know, it's so fun.
Yeah, plant science can be very technical and complicated. So I think a book that kind of breaks things down into layman's terms and step by step without being overwhelming is definitely the way to go. So looks like a great
Hey,
book.
hey,
Oh yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
So besides being authors, you guys are inventors as well. Can you please tell us about the Little Dibby and the Dibby XL?
Yeah, sure.
Honestly, when I saw this product, I was like, oh my God, how come no one invented this already? It
Oh,
seems
thank
like such
you.
a simple tool, but so
Hey,
useful.
thank you for saying that,
Yeah.
because we do hear that same feedback from people, and we're like, this was totally Sean's idea.
Oh.
It's so awesome.
We saw really that there was two separate tools. One of them, there were two separate tools to do what this one tool does. And so there's a seed dibber, which helps you plant the seeds at a correct depth, whatever that depth is. And then there's what's called a seed widger that helps you transplant the seedlings after they've come up, to transplant them into larger pots or into the ground, wherever you want to put them. And so we're like, why should anybody buy two tools to do this? So we combine them. And so there's the seed dibber end to plant the seeds with the graduated markings, depth markings on it in rings. If you can see, there you go. And then there's the seed widger. So I guess if you show you this way, just this helps you plant the seeds. And then when the seed comes up, you use the little spatula end, the little scoop end, to literally go down, grab the plant itself, and then bring it up. And then it helps you put the plant back in the ground.
We did a lot of research before we really launched this tool, and there was nothing like it on the market. So it's currently patent pending, which we're super excited about.
Very excited.
So and we made them in really bright colors
Yeah.
because we thought, why not? And you can find them in the garden. And,
Yeah.
our goal is to make these out of recycled plastic. We're not there yet. It's a very expensive technology, but we haven't wasted like a single bit of the scraps. That we have this huge bag of just all these scraps that we're planning on melting down and reusing. So we're really proud of that.
How are you producing those? Is that injection molded, 3D printed?
3D printed right now. We want to get to the injection molding level, but we're still moving up the scale on that slowly. So we'll get there though.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, the injection molding process, for anyone who hasn't been involved, can be quite expensive to start out. So
really
baby steps, I guess.
exactly that's where we're at.
I saw online that your guys' yard is a certified wildlife habitat. What is that, and how did this come about?
Oh, we're so, it's so sad actually, because when we sold our house, it was just been 1 year at this point. We, that was the yard that was certified, but we'll definitely do it again in the future. And it just means that our backyard, the space that we, it's just the backyard. It was a certain amount of square footage, wasn't it?
That, and it had to meet 5 different criteria.
Yeah, 5 criteria.
So the 5 criteria to meet is there needs to be shelter for wildlife and pollinators. There needs to be a food source, there needs to be nesting area, and there needs to be water, but there also needs to be no pesticides or chemicals used in that area. And we were able to meet all 5 of those criteria. And really, to get the certification, it's nice. You get like a plaque, you get like a sign, but really you can still do all this and not have to get the certification if you just want to do some of this stuff and make it nice for pollinators and wildlife.
Which is basically what we're doing now. We have a temporary garden at my mom's house while we're looking for property, and it still fits all that criteria, but it's not technically certified. So,
yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you guys were getting like some tax breaks or something that.
Nothing cool like that.
No, that'd be nice, but.
So it's just kind of a cool little feather in your cap, I guess, so to say.
Pretty
Awesome.
much. We had tons of wildlife in our old yard. We still do. And we just love knowing that we're doing what we can for that.
And there's a lot of people that take pride in being able to provide that to the wildlife and pollinators. And we too take pride in doing that because we want to invite them in. We love having them in and amongst our flowers. We get to watch them and enjoy them too.
Take pictures of them. And stuff.
Yeah.
So we kind of nerd out.
Yeah. Pollinators definitely help the garden overall. I can definitely attest to that. So how did you guys come across smart pots, and what have you grown in them? I think I saw dahlias last season. And what have you noticed versus other containers?
Oh, we love our smart pots. Okay. Well, I actually think maybe I found it first.
I think so.
I mean, I'd kind of heard the brand, but I didn't really know exactly what it was. But on Instagram, I think we found you, and I think we saw other gardeners using some of your awesome fabric bags, and we were like, wow, that would be perfect for us.
Yep. And also the backstory was, Eric, that we were looking for pots, but we were like, we were pretty much tired of going to like Home Depot or even our nurseries out there, our local nurseries, and looking at nothing but plastic or terracotta clay and the expense. They're really, really expensive. And we're kind of tired of that. We wanted something different, not the same old, same old. And when Allison found you guys online, she was like, we got to look at this. Let's check this out. And we did. And we got excited. Excuse me. We got excited. You can tell I'm excited.
No, we got excited.
Because this is something we wanted to try. We saw what you guys were doing. We saw what the smart pots could do. And we're like, this is perfect for what we need.
Especially the dahlias, because having moved them all from our old garden, we were just like, we've got to find something to continue growing these dahlias and keep them healthy. Mm-hmm. And they did awesome. So that story led into the project that we kind of started with you guys. And we grew, was it 25 dahlias each in their own 7-gallon smart pot bag.
Yep.
And they grew like gangbusters. I mean, they did awesome.
They did really well, yeah. And I can tell you right now, the difference between growing our dahlias in the smart pots versus any of the other pots that we have, all our dahlias came out in the fall. None of them were root bound. They all had really healthy root systems. And we know from experience in the past that we've grown them in confined spaces and in pots. They get root bound. It just happens. And with the smart pots, they didn't. It was great. They were really extra healthy. It helped us throughout the whole growing season.
Yeah, they did really well. So
yeah, I'd say most of our customers are using smart pots for veggies, herbs, consumables. But for those gardeners who use us for ornamentals, they're blown away by, plants are plants. They all have roots, and it's all about the roots for any plant. And the better your root system is, the more fruits and flowers you're going to have. So
definitely.
I'm not shocked that you guys love us.
We love you guys. I can't wait.
Yeah. So you guys have a podcast of your own. What is it called, and what are you guys covering?
Oh yeah. Well, that's you.
So it's mainly me right now. We used to do it together. We just, for time wise and stuff, it kind of, the longer podcast, we had two separate podcast formats. One was really long, about an hour or so, and the other one was like a minute or under, or maybe it's morphed into 2 minutes. Now it's morphed into a little bit past 2 minutes, but it's called the DIY Garden Minute. And basically it's just for DIY gardeners, giving them quick information to use out in their garden, some type of skill or some type of information to go out into their garden and apply right away, and then move on with their day, get through the tasks they need to get through, and then move on to whatever else they need to do.
Yeah, it's fun. And, we should mention, if we haven't said this already, we primarily teach ornamentals. We do grow fruits and veggies in our garden. We love growing that, but we don't teach about it. We don't feel like, and there's so many amazing people out there that are already doing that. And we feel a lot more comfortable, with flowers and
we do
plants. So that's what we talk about.
Yeah, focus on your bread and butter, and then it makes sense to kind of focus on a shorter format podcast, because most people have the attention span of a goldfish. So, anything over a minute and they're like, oh.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, that's kind of what we found too. So we hope, we know it's giving great information out there to people. It's usable. We see it in our downloads, and we want to continue to do that.
Yeah.
Awesome. So you guys obviously grow great plants. What's the number one piece of advice you would give to a beginner gardener?
Wow. That's a great question. Oh gosh.
I know I'm
pausing for a minute because I'm like, there's so many things I want to say. I think I guess don't be afraid to make mistakes. Mm-hmm. Just get out there. If you're brand new to gardening, it's your first time growing an annual or a flowering bulb or whatnot, you really just have to have that experience, right? Just try it. If it doesn't flower for that year or whatever, that's okay. Try again the following year. Because we get a lot of frustrated people on our YouTube channel that are just like, I don't know what to do. And we're just like, keep going, just give it another try a different type of soil, or move it to a different location or whatever.
Yeah.
Right?
And a lot of people we see on YouTube is they get back to us and they say, well, I was told to do it this way and it didn't work and I'm super frustrated. What did I do wrong? It's like we see, in the comments, they lay it all out and it's like, you didn't do anything wrong. In fact, what you need to do is push the envelope a little bit more. Don't be afraid to just go outside of your planting zone hardiness and push that envelope and see what you can grow. That's another piece of advice I think we would give is don't be afraid to push the envelope and see what you can do, because you might have a certain microclimate that's different from the rest of your region. You could have different rainfall. There's all these different things that can go into how well you can grow a plant. So,
That's a great piece of advice in general. And I was telling my 7-year-old daughter the other day, just don't be afraid to fail in general, because, failing isn't a loss if you gain something useful that you can apply in the future. So just start somewhere and keep gardening, folks.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, you'll find a plant that you like. Maybe you're just planting it at the wrong time of year. So just keep plugging along.
Yeah.
Where can people find you, your books, and your content?
Oh, I think actually we're probably most active on, for social media, probably Instagram.
Yes.
And Twitter. We do a little bit of Twitter.
Mostly on Instagram.
We love Instagram. There's just so much to do. It's almost like a full-time job.
It is all by itself.
Tell me about it.
So right. So we're working on kind of getting out in front of a bigger audience with that platform, and but YouTube as well. We do a lot of in 2020, right at the start of the pandemic, we just threw ourselves into video. We were like, what are we doing? We don't know. But we just wanted to teach so bad. So we actually have amassed almost 500 videos now, I think. And
over 500.
We just keep going. We love doing that. It's time consuming, but with the editing and stuff.
Yeah, but we can reach so many people,
it.
And we get a lot of great responses of people saying, thank you so much. This is exactly what I'm looking for. And that just recharges us to keep going.
We just want to help everybody.
Yeah, your guys' content has a high production value. So, wherever you started versus where you guys are at, it looks like y'all are seasoned veterans. So,
thank you.
We love watching your content.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm so nitpicky. I'm like, I'm a perfectionist, so we both are.
Well, when you care about something, it's hard not to be a perfectionist. So on that note, Sean and Allison, that was all the questions that I had for you guys. And it was really nice to have you on our podcast and learn more about, how you guys are doing things out there in the garden. So thank you so much for joining us on the podcast.
Oh, thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
We're so really excited. Fun. We love you guys. So we're excited to grow our dahlias and more plants again.
Yeah, we plan on more ornamentals in Smart Pots this year. So
excited.
if you watch us on a regular basis, stay tuned.
Nice. Yeah. Hopefully spring has been slow to come for a lot of the country. So looking forward to seeing your guys' garden pop off. And again, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.